Yeah, my main issue was weight. And when I look at pictures, I'm like, how come no one told me? You know, like, what the hell?
What did I cheat? Well, it's mostly potatoes.
Lasagna, spaghetti,
popcorn,
smothered with margarine.
I'm trying to think, did I just gain 10 pounds because I did this?
I think we all were too scared to tell each other how big we were getting.
If you're a woman like that, keep your skinny ass at home.
1 year without popcorn, potatoes, and pasta. 1 year to get healthy. 1 year to prove that the ancestors had it right. 1 year for a little town to go cold turkey and stay on a big fat diet.
Best thing about her is those tree trunk thighs. I want a woman that can give me shade.
If you visit Alert Bay off the northern tip of Vancouver Island, British Columbia, you'll find a fishing village that's famous for its culture, hospitality, and traditional feasting. The village of 1,500 people is home to the Namgais First Nation and their non-native neighbors. The big house is where the heart of the community beats, and the oldest of traditions live on. Is a local councilman and hereditary chief.
Before, we used to live out in the ocean here. We used to just go out and get what we wanted to eat. Now we can't do that because of the price of fuel. If I went hunting and fishing and gathering clams and cod and stuff like that, by the end of the day, I'd be looking at $1,000 to $1,500 worth of fuel. We can't do it anymore.
For centuries, the ocean has provided a wealth of food for the Namgais, like salmon, cod, and shellfish. But those foods are becoming increasingly scarce, and that might be the cause of an emerging health crisis.
I've always struggled with weight. There's times when I've been up past 300 pounds, and it seems to be a genetic thing because I had great aunts who were obese and couldn't even get out of chairs and stuff on my mom's side of the family.
When did the weight gain? Did that happen when you were younger?
We've always been overweight since we were little, well, teenagers, I guess. It started then.
How long has it been since you've been feeling that you can't get out?
A couple of years for me.
My biggest hope is that we could start doing things together as a family instead of having to leave them behind. And the weight problem is a huge problem.
My weight has been with me all my life, being, quite obese through high school, through elementary school, through university. And yes, it's held me back on a lot of things, and it's been the root and the fear of a lot of things that I haven't done in life or risks that I haven't taken because of that. I always kind of felt that there was something different with my body because I thought, for someone that does the activities that I do, I should not be this size. Doctors would check everything. Everything's fine, just eat less, exercise more. And I had been truthful to that. It almost kind of made you feel like people didn't believe that you were being truthful to the way you were actually eating.
Obesity is an enormous problem, and it's linked to other diseases like diabetes, cardiovascular disease, cancer, and other chronic illnesses.
In Canada, about 5% of adults are diabetic. But in First Nations communities like Alert Bay, the rates are 3 to 5 times greater.
The biggest health crisis facing First Nations communities across the whole continent is the epidemic of diabetes.
Art Dick has been a diabetic for over 10 years. He's been taking an ever-increasing amount of medication to control the disease.
A friend of mine, a very dear friend of mine, he was on insulin for maybe 6 months and his kidneys quit on him and it killed him. And that scared the hell out of me. Since I've contracted this disease, I've had nothing but doom and gloom.
I come from a Métis background, and there are a lot of people in my family who have type 2 diabetes. And then 5 years ago, I discovered I had it. And that really sharpened my focus, looking at diabetes and particularly the relationship between diabetes and diet. Can I have a bacon mushroom cheeseburger with no bun? And no fries?
No fries.
But could you throw some Caesar salad on the side, but no croutons?
No.
Okay.
Great.
I stopped eating sugar and starch when I discovered I had diabetes, just to get my blood sugar down. And I very quickly discovered that it literally reversed all my signs and symptoms of diabetes. And then I made the connection that the kind of diet I was eating now very much resembled a traditional diet.
Carbohydrate foods like potatoes, pasta, bread, and sugar weren't consumed historically by Northwest Coastal First Nations. Wortman believes it was their introduction by Europeans about 150 years ago that caused the rise of diabetes and obesity. Could these health issues be improved by returning to a traditional style of eating? This is what Wortman wants to find out in Alert Bay. But first he needs to convince about 100 people to give up starch and sugar for a year. His research project will be sponsored by the University of British Columbia and Health Canada.
When you look at the macronutrient composition of the traditional diet, people got their calories mainly from protein and fat, and most of it came from fat. The study diet is based on the traditional diet, but adds in market foods that have protein and fat, but no starch and sugars. Did someone else make a comment back there? Brown rice. Brown rice? It's better than white rice, but you would not eat it on this diet. If you reverse engineered the traditional diet, you would come up with something that looked like an Atkins diet in the modern lexicon.
And I'm convinced that this diet will work for the simple fact that's what my grandparents ate.
Art Dick is one of the first to sign up for the study. Wortman has raised his hopes that the diet will improve his diabetes.
I'm going to have some choice words for you with that.
Joy can't join Art on the diet because she has gallstones.
She's been in and out of the hospital on an emergency basis because of her pain, and can't get her on a list to go and get them out.
Tina hopes that the diet will help her make some life changes.
Just to lose the weight and be able to do more things. Yeah, it's held me back a lot.
So what are your hopes for the diet?
My hopes for the diet. My true hopes for the diet? First the selfish ones. I want to shop at regular regular stores that sell tons and tons of different clothing. So I've told my family that watch out next summer. I'm going to raid their closets and that their clothing is fair game.
This is it, pal.
Yeah.
I'm here for this last real meal deal.
The last hurrah.
Tomorrow, Greg Wadhams will be joining the study.
But I'm sure you're going to miss this Chinese food.
He